What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods, and it is a lovely Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for being here for the ModMyMods news update. Today we are going to do a quick little flight from good old Rochester International, Greater Rochester International Airport, where it is snowy and cold and disgusting, and we are going to be flying up to Vermont. We're actually going to be headed to Burling International Airport, which is a short little trip. Not too far at all. But thanks everybody for joining us today. I really appreciate you being here. For some reason, I'm not really sure why, but my chat is very slow. OBS doesn't exactly want to work correctly. I'm not really sure why. But the dock disappeared, and the chat window disappeared, and it was giving me all sorts of issues about this, that, and the other. But hopefully it's working out for you guys. Hopefully everything is okay, and you guys can actually see me, and I can see you, and I can, obviously write back to you guys and talk back to you guys the way that I'm supposed to, because, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I usually do the streaming and the recording at the exact same time, and I use OBS to do both of them. However, I think today, for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but it decided that it wants to be a giant pile of donkey. But whatever. What are you going to do? So, without further ado, let's hop right into this plane here, and let's get the heck up out of here. That way we can talk about some fun stuff and talk about some of the news. What do you say? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck. We want to welcome any and all passengers that have been granted the privilege to fly with Big Kevin this afternoon. We'll be leaving here in just a couple minutes once we get this plane actually going. I got to get out and hand crank the engines in order to get it going. So we'll be moving and doing the pushback here in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, get yourself a seat. Grab yourself a beverage, put away all of your electronic devices, make sure your seat is in the upright position, and your tray tables have been stowed and locked properly. Thanks for flying ModMyMods, and we will be leaving very shortly. So yeah, that's pretty much my spiel today. We're going to be taking off here out of Rochester, Greater Rochester International Airport, and we will go ahead and fly our buns right on up to Burlington, Vermont. I actually have some family that used to live up there, so I figured we'd go pay them a visit quick, right? Why not? It is a brisk, very, very brisk, cold day out today. It is about a total of 20 degrees, maybe 23 degrees. So we're going to have to make sure that we have the anti-ice for the wings and the engines and for the front windscreen on. We're also going to do this by the book, so we'll make sure that we talk to Rochester Approach, get IFR clearance from KROC all the way up to KBTV. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Squawk 1, 2, oops. 6, 3. All right, we are cleared to Burlington. Climb and maintain 9,000. Departure frequency is 125.875. Squawk 1263.
WRJG9R1 cleared to Burlington Airport as filed.
Put that to
what
it needs to be.
Departure is 125.875. Squawk 1263.
Okay.
Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
All right. Readback is correct. All right. Here we go. So how's everybody feeling today? How's everybody doing? We had a pretty good amount of snow. We got about 10 inches here today, last night into today, which was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. We typically, get quite a bit of snow, which is, not necessarily unnormal for us here. However, it was a little bit of a shock get it, to get dumped on like that. But put your goddamn seatbelts on. All right, and no smoking, which should be like you should know that already. But so yeah, we got a bunch of snow. It's not as cold as some of the other places, especially I know some of the folks that watch the show here, like Travis. I know Travis is dealing with unbelievably cold temperatures out there. So stay warm if you are in the snow. And all of you Texans that have seen snow for the first time ever in your entire life, welcome to the shit show that is snow. We love it. I absolutely love snow. You know, I got the snowboard on the roof rack ready to go once I'm done with the good old work day. So, but in the meantime, let's get going on this flight here. That way we can get the heck up out of here. Let's go outside. And we'll have our push back, our little push cart. Go ahead and push us back here now that we got the engines up and running. Everything is all white because it's snowing out, which is kind of cool. I mean, they could have done a little bit better on the textures because, well, you know, when you push back this giant-ass plane, you'd think that there'd be, like, tracks in the snow from the wheels. But, hey, you know, what do I know? What do I know? All right, so we're going to hit the flaps, put flaps to 2. I already have the engines started. Engines are good to go. I can go ahead. The generators are on already. I can go ahead and turn off the APU and the APU bleed because the APU is really only needed for when we're sitting through here and taxiing our way out of here and getting the engine started. We are going to be taking off of runway 10, which is number 3. So we're going to announce the taxi.
WRJG9er1 is taxiing to runway 10.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's see. Shellback is alive. He's working on blueprints and planning. Hey, man, that's half the battle. Planning is half the battle, you know? And, yeah, Kalen has really gone through hell with the ice storm, cutting out power and stuff. So, you know, make sure you keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you do that type of thing. He's a good friend of ours and definitely could use it. I know I think he's on generator number 3, which is unbelievable. So, all right, I'll around, up and down. That's good. Full left, full right. Yeah, left, yeah, right. Okay, full up and full down. Okay, cool. Let's hop inside this bad boy here. And we'll reset the camera here. All right, we are in good situation here. Let's take the parking brake off and let's get on out of here. All right, let's see. Rodimus, what did he say? Because I know he said something and I wanted to make sure that I check the chat today. Which I apologize because the chat window is like in a really weird spot. I wish custom CNC work wasn't so dang expensive. Yeah, no, I understand that. I mean, even our CNC work to get it done is sometimes rather expensive just because of the amount of time that it takes, you know, on the machine to actually get it cut properly and done up correctly. So, but G-Lid, yes, you know what, Captain? Funny enough, I did see that at one point in time. I haven't actually used one of these personally myself, but we can take a look at that once we get up and out of here. Take a look at that bracket here. Because I know that I pulled out an AMD chip not too long ago, and it got stuck basically to the bottom of the cooler that we were using. I think it was just a regular eyes block, but still. Doesn't exactly really matter much, you know. Oh, it took away my taxi ribbon. That's cute. Luckily, I know where I'm going on this airport, so I have driven around it. Actually, over there to our right is where one of the plastics company that we deal with that creates a lot of our stuff and works with us on a couple different things. So. DD Custom Mods, Double Dragon, Mr. James, thanks for being here, mate. Appreciate it. I did see your message, but obviously I was kind of trying to prep for the show, so I didn't exactly get a chance to read it all the way through. But if I remember correctly, the Alpha Cool stuff doesn't always work the way that it's supposed to. So that's why I needed a little bit more time to really read into it. We're going to be departing for the east.
Rochester traffic WRJG9er 1 tree taking off runway 22 east departure.
That's right, 22 east depart. Wait, no, what? No. No. What? I definitely said select runway for takeoff. And I definitely said number 10. And we're going to be departing to the east.
Rochester traffic WRJG9er 1 tree taking off runway 10 east departure.
There we go. That's better. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain from the flight deck and all of us on board here. We appreciate you joining us for this afternoon's flight. We'll be leaving Rochester International Airport, headed to Burlington. If you haven't already, please stow all of your electronic devices, return your seat to the upright position, and lock and stow your tray tables. Please hang on as I rip the paint off of this plane and we get airborne. Bam. I feel like Emerald Gossi up in this piece. Bam. All right, yes, let's fly, baby. Let's get the heck up out of here. I agree. Not that we're going anywhere warmer, but we're at least getting out of Rochester, which is always, you know, it's always a good thing. Always a good thing to do. All right, as we come barreling down the runway here, we are just about to hit 1, R1, yep, V1, sorry, V1, and then R, which is rotate, and we are now at a positive rate of climb. Go ahead and put away the landing gear. Go ahead and hit flaps 1. A lot of people don't necessarily take off with flaps 2. I tend to like to take off with flaps 2 because you end up, there's a little bit of wind there. You end up getting and gaining a positive rate of speed, or a positive rate of climb a little bit faster than typical. So, all right, now we got flaps, no flaps. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull back on the throttle just a little bit here to about 85%, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate the flight director with the autopilot engaged. And we're gonna zoom this out a little bit here. We're going to engage the managed altitude mode, which it already is. It's already set on a positive rate of climb up to 9,000 feet. And we will go ahead and tune into Cleveland Center on 127.475. Check in with them. Go ahead and turn off these lights here. Don't need the landing lights. Don't need those. Don't need that either. Strobe. Alright, flight level 180 for WRJG9er13.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 WRJG9er13.
I honestly thought that I set the height, the cruising altitude to 12,000, but apparently I was wrong. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Alright, so it looks like we're gonna be heading down to Hank, as in Tom Hanks, and then we will be headed towards the north, well, yeah, it'd be northeast, following the Gons waypoint. But there it is. We're still at a positive rate of climb here, a steady climb. Looks like we're about 87% thrust right now, which that's what CL means, climb level, which is you're basically your how much you're going up and what you're supposed to be doing at that percentage. TOGA, which is obviously takeoff and ground assist. So, all right, there it is. Boom, we're done. We got we're up in the air. We have our anti-ice on. Everything else is good to go. We have the non-smoking. I guess I'll turn off the seatbelt signs. There you go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain again. As you can tell, we are still maintaining a relatively pretty steep angle of incline here, but I have turned off the safety fasten seatbelts sign. So if you would like to power up your electronic devices, you definitely could do that. If you want to go up and take a quick little tinkle or drop a deuce, that's also perfectly acceptable now that we have reached relative climbing rate. So, in the meantime, enjoy your flight here. Grab a drink, grab a beverage, kick back, and hang out as we make it on over to Vermont. All right, so that being said, I got the thrust level set. I'll go ahead and dial those back once we get to the next, probably in the next waypoint, the waypoint after that. And then we can go ahead and take a look at some fun things. Let's take a look at the chat here for a second. We're trying to go full on the tiny home with our current house, building everything to suit our needs and stave, sending a grab in a month, currently busting my butt measure. Yeah, hey man, dude, tiny homes are really, really cool, especially if you can get them done right and they have everything that you need in them. Very, very cool. Double Dragon. I noticed the motherboard header was listed on pre-order on MMM and wondered if the Alpha Cool one would work. Let's see. Okay, so yes, the Aqua Computer RGBPX little adapter thing is actually mostly for the proprietary connector that comes from the Alpha Cool RGB adapter. Here, what we'll do is we'll just take a look at it. How about that? You know, we have this awesome thing called the internet while we're flying up. You know, what's our flight level? What are we at here? 13,000 feet above sea level? Yeah, that's fine. All right, so you're talking about the computer RGBPX. Okay, so let's talk about this first, and then we'll move on. Okay, so as you can see, you have this cable, and this is the proprietary cable that Aqua Computer uses for their RGB stuff. They have this, it's basically like a mini JST connector. Let's see if I can dump that in there so you can see. It's like a mini JST connector that allows you to plug in the one side and then plug into the other. And for any of the Aqua Computer RGB stuff, especially the RGBPX stuff, all use this proprietary connector. So whether it's the ring, whether it's the LED strips, whatever, that's what its intended use is. Now, this is the adapter that we were just talking about. The adapter is used to go between, actually, it's basically to use this particular, the proprietary Aqua Computer RGBPX cable to this adapter. So whether you have like an Alpha Cool or a thermal take or whatever, as long as it's a 5-volt digital RGB signal and it has the 3-pin, I think that's VDG, right? I think that's how that's pinned out. That would be used in combination in order to get your other parts to work together. Now, that being said, you did mention the Alpha Cool one that would work as well. Let's take a look at the Alpha Cool RGB. Uh-oh. Oh, descend and maintain 12,000. See, then why the hell did you tell me to go to 18,000?
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet WRJG9 1 tree.
Alright, well, now that we're descending, I can go ahead and pull back on the throttle here. We're going to drop it down to like, I don't know, 60. And that should... Yeah, okay, come on. Huh, interesting. Yeah, oh, now you want to work? Huh, that doesn't make any sense. You know, sometimes this game, this flight simulator, does not work the way that it's supposed to at all in any way, shape, or form. Like, it just doesn't. And it's kind of upsetting. There we go. 133 on decimal.
133.25 for WRJG9R1 tree.
All right, so what we did is, instead of the managed altitude autopilot working the way that it's supposed to, which down here on the left on your, I can't remember what the hell it's called. This is your MD, main display, I think. Right? Basically, on your main computer here, it'll actually tell you what you're doing. You know, if your speed is managed by the autopilot, what your the navigation is actually being managed by the flight director right now, and it tells you, what your cruise is, what your barometric pressure is, all this type of stuff, right? But up here, this is your vertical speed. So whether you're descending or you're ascending, it will actually show you how fast or how slow you are doing it, depending on what you have it plugged in here with the autopilot. Now, I told it to decrease or descend using the manage altitude mode by just setting it into 12,000 and then clicking engage manage altitude. However, for some reason it doesn't, and which it registers here saying you're supposed to descend at the rate and go to 12,000 feet, which it actually says that, but it doesn't actually do anything, which is kind of annoying. So basically what I did is I manually set it for the vertical speed to be negative 2,000 feet a minute. And so now, as you can see over here, the altitude, vertical speed is negative 2,000 altitude. And then it should theoretically stop once we get to 12,000 feet. Theoretically. All right, so now that we're there, let's check in with Boston Center, and we'll hop on over to the website again. Senator 30.27. Now, it is very important to be changing what your actual barometric pressure is, because that actually changes where you are relative to the ground. So if the barometric pressure is different, then your altitude is going to read out differently depending on where you are in the world. All right, so down to 13,000, and then theoretically it should go to 12,000 and stop, is my hope. We're going to watch this just for a second here, and then we'll go back. Yeah, see, altitude star, which basically means that whatever the altitude indicated on this setting is, that's where it should level off the plane, which that is exactly what it's doing. It's slowly bringing the descent rate from 2,000 feet a minute down to whatever it needs to be. Whoa, what the hell was that? Wow. Anybody else see that? It just like gained like an extra 200 feet like instantly for some reason. Wow. Weird. Anyways, okay. All right, so let's go on back, take a look at this, what he was talking about here. Travis, you broke it. No, don't say those things. It's very possible that I can break things. All right, so let's see. Alpha, you were wondering about the AlphaCool digital RGB connector adapter cable thing. If I understand what you're asking, are you talking about this particular one here? Or are you talking about... I thought there was another adapter cable. Let me look. This one here, right? Because it goes from your... Of course, this... What? What? Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet WRJG9R1 tree.
29.70, which is not the same altimeter as what I was just told, so, okay. There we go. Everybody okay now? Everybody fine? Gonna make it? Alright. It's the one included with the three-way splitter. Let me look here. Which is, this is the three-way splitter, right? Right here? I think it's that one. Product number 18. Oh, see? You know what? James. Bonus points, man. Holy cow, bonus points. Love it. All right, so this particular connector right here, let me tell you what. Okay, cool. So it does seem like this is the one that you're looking for. This should theoretically do the exact same thing. However, what it does is it adapts it from digital.
.500 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Altimeter 3026.
3026 is way different than 2970, just so we're clear. Jesus, like what the hell is going on here?
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. WRJG9R1 tree.
All right, whatever. Okay, now we're back. We're back. Promise. Okay, so what this does is it adapts it from the motherboard 5-volt to their version of RGB connector, 3-pin RGB connector. However, that is not the same as the Aqua Computer RGB PX. It's not the same. Just so we're clear. It does look the same, but unfortunately right here where you get to this image, this particular connector is actually bigger than the others. So it is a completely different connector. So, oh, Mr. Kevin James Daly, thanks for joining here, my friend. Painting off, dude, an old BMX frame? 20-inch, what are you talking about old? How old? How old do you want to go, man? I mean, are you talking GT days? Are you talking like DK? Are you talking kink? What are you talking about there, Mr. Daly? You make me ponder these things. So, James, what James and I were talking about was having digital RGB plugged in directly to the motherboard. And now this particular 3-way adapter will definitely work. You plug the one into your motherboard, and then this plugs into the this is the proprietary end, which would plug into the adapter cable, and then you would have 3 different places to plug in AlphaCool products, AlphaCool RGB products, digital RGB products. Let me make sure I'm clear about that. Digital RGB products. So, like a regular RGB strip ain't gonna work with this thing. So you'd need this type of the Aurora light, as they would call it. And as you can see down here, they have the same type of digital connector. It's a proprietary connector. Which I think is actually just a JST, and then the Aqua Computer PX is actually a mini JST connector. But now we're getting into real technicalities about what type of connector it is. So James asks, so should I order the adapter from Aqua Computer directly, or is there a small RGB controller that we'd recommend? All right, so if you're not going to use the actual controller that is on the motherboard, the 5-volt digital RGB that usually goes on, like AceRock's RGB software isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's also not bad either. So it's kind of like you're like in the middle of the road when it comes to that. I honestly have never really used their RGB software, so I can't vouch for how good or how terrible it is. However, I can tell you that when I use digital RGB off of a motherboard, it usually never ends well. The motherboard software tends to take a shit on everything, and you have all sorts of issues for no reason, pretty much is what it comes down to. Now, that being said, is there a digital, or is there an RGB controller that I would use instead of the onboard software with the AceRock motherboard? Yes. However, I don't exactly know if we have it in stock. It's the Faberwork. Hold on. I gotta find it for you now because I don't remember what it's called. Okay, Faberwork. That's why. That is why. So the Faberwork Nanos, the internals, the externals, these are actually RGB controllers. that do come with RGB strips with them, which is kind of cool. Typically, actually, this is what I use in my own PC. This one, as well as this one, the 360. The 360 is neat because you can do digital RGB as well as the RGB, the proprietary RGB. Okay, yeah, contact Boston Center.
To 135.25 WRJG9 or 1 tree.
But okay, so for your case, the Nano, which is what we have here, the little tiny baby thing is actually the controller itself. You'd run this proprietary USB controller from your USB header on your motherboard, plumb it into this controller, and then out of the controller into your Aqua Computer RGBs, which is fantastic because they actually can daisy chain. So using one of these cables, you could go out of the controller into this cable, out of the end of the cable into another cable, out of that cable, and I think you can do up to 6 of them. So you have 6 RGB strips in a row that could actually be worked off of one channel, which is kind of neat. The only problem with this particular unit is that you only get the one channel, right? Whereas the 360 that I just showed you, the Farberwork 360, which is, I'm sure, out of stock. Yes, it is. These have the ability to do 4 different channels, as well as work with your Aquabus and your flow sensors and all sorts of other things. So in your case, what I might do is, if you can wait, I would get one of these and then connect everything to it and then go from there. With these, you can also, what I would do is, if you're using other RGB components like Alpha Cool or Thermaltake or whatever it might be, I would get the little baby cables that come off of this and go directly, that have the adapter, and then plug the adapter directly into that, and then use the Aqua Computer software to manage everything. The Aqua Computer Vision software is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. It's written in Python, so if you know your way around that, you can really do some interesting things. However, I like being able to have one USB device that controls it all, which is extremely helpful. And you can also daisy chain a couple of these together. You can make them all work off of each other and all sorts of different things. So I would highly, highly recommend the Aqua Computer when we have it in stock to get some. However, you know, the availability is a little bit slim right now, as everyone is experiencing. Everyone is experiencing the same thing. Nobody can get anything anywhere.
Boston Center WRJG9 or 1 tree 12,000 feet.
Channels.
1 tree Boston Center, continue as planned. Altimeter
1 second.
0.26.
The channels allow you to do
West 19 or 2 tree
multiple
Volvo
things.
Tree 65 for 10,000 feet. Southwest 19 or 2 tree Boston Center, continue as planned.
Oh, I don't have the AquaSuite computer. What? Since when? Oh. Ah, man. Wow, it's kind of hard to pull up AquaSuite software when you don't actually have it installed on this PC because, well, you forget what PC you're on. Oops. The computer that I have at home has the AquaSuite software, which is fantastic. The channels allow you to do different color per channel, yes, but it also allows you to do multiple effects per channel. So, like, say, for example, you have a rotating RGB going, and then you also wanted a laser effect to go through it. So you have your RGB rotating, and then your laser is going to be a white, followed by, or the middle is going to be red, followed by the beginning, which is white, and the end, which is white, right? So you'd have your RGB going, and then eventually you'd have a white and red little dot that kind of goes around throughout the entire thing and then comes back. But that's just one example of how many different things that you can do. You can do a rain effect on top of a twinkle effect on top of another. So it kind of all depends on how you want to make it flow and how you want to make it work.
WRJG9 or 1 tree, you are 89 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect ILS runway 15 approach via aero transition.
No.
Cleared to aero.
Okay.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 15 approach via aero transition. Cleared to aero WRJG9er1 tree.
Wow, it looks like I'm actually getting relatively close to the airport already. That's pretty cool. We're flying right over the Adirondack Mountains actually right now, which is kind of cool, which is pretty neat. But yeah, so each channel. Damn it, ATC! Shut up for a minute. I'm trying to explain RGB.
120.3 WRJG9er1 tree.
So that particular controller that we have here, you have 4 different channels that are on it. Each channel can control up to, I think, 6 strips or 6 devices. Maybe it's 4. I think it's 6 though. But then you basically, each channel will allow you to do multiple effects on top of it. I think you can do 3 different effects per channel. So for example, what I ended up doing is I plumbed one of these to an actual, it's a Splitty 4 to power my Corsair fans, and then I use the AquaSuite software to actually dial in the Corsair fans to do their digital RGB rotate and stuff like that using the AquaSuite software. So maybe what I'll do is next week we can dive into this a little bit more and talk about the RGB softwares, which ones are great, which ones are terrible, which most of them are, period. They're just awful.
Boston Center WRJG9er1 tree 12,000 feet.
WRJG9er1 tree, Boston Center, continue to aero as planned. Altimeter
29.46. 29.46. Jesus. 4.6. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. So hopefully that helped you a little bit explain what was going on. What I'll do is I'll actually probably do it on the laptop because I know the laptop has the AquaSuite software and FabWorks stuff and everything like that. And I'll plug in some of this stuff via USB, or I'll use one of the computers that has the AquaSuite stuff on it, so I can actually at least show you a little bit more in depth on how awesome the Aqua Computer stuff is, because it's unbelievable how much crap you can do with that. And on top of, if you have any other Aqua Computer stuff like the Aquero or the power adjuster, any of that stuff, it all links together and will work together. So very, very cool. So hopefully that makes sense and that helped a little. But yeah, the Aqua Computer and the Alpha Cool stuff, not the same, unfortunately. Not the same. So, all right, let's see. Let's wrap up the news here, and then we'll get going and land this plane. Maven, thanks for being here there, miss. I appreciate you being here. We are flying to Vermont currently. I was on Newegg, and Corey and I were actually kind of making a couple little chuckles and little laughs and stuff like that, because some of these shell shocker deals are actually shell shockingly terrible. They're pretty freaking awful. This 1 terabyte SATA 3 drive actually isn't too terrible. It doesn't look awful. It is a 2.5-inch drive. It is SATA 6, SATA 6. The read-write speeds aren't terrible. It's not terrible, but for $77 and you get a terabyte worth of space, not a terrible investment to make, that's for sure. Not a terrible investment at all. Let's see. Yeah, have I seen the 15 terabyte one for $4,000? Yes, I have. I'm gonna now look at it. Where is it? There it is. There she is. The WP. Is that a water panther? Right? Is that what the hell they call this thing? Water Panther. Ooh, check out the new Water Panther WPG8 compatible server SSD 2.5-inch. That's pretty cool, actually. Not for no $4,000. Hell no. However, apparently Seagate just came out with a Nitro, which is the 3031 version, which is also 15 terabytes of space. That is unbelievable how much space that is. That is a lot. Holy cow. That's nuts. Actually, I'll have 10 terabytes once I get Battle of Hoth done, which is pretty cool. Which, by the way, if you haven't been watching our Instagram page at all, you should go check it out. That's actually why I had it pulled up here. Yeah, the Battle of Hoth actually passed the test, so it is pressurized, it is working, it has the part 2 already gone through it, and we are working, well, I am working quite hard on trying to get this thing completed. Got a couple little odds and ends to tidy up, but once this thing is done, we'll have quite a bit of space, and we'll have some more stuff to talk about as well, because I'm going to be doing some tests. But if you head on over to our Instagram page, give us a like, a share, a tweet, follow, that type of thing, you can stay up to date with all of the Battle for Hoth stuff that is going on. Some of the other fun things that I did end up finding while I was going through the deals, per se. This Rosewood 550 watt gaming power supply. Dude, it's only $65, man. And it's full modular. But Rose will. Okay? Save yourself the headache. Don't buy one of these. Okay? That's for everybody. Not just me. Even if you went with the 1,000 watt Rose Will Hive series, I don't give a crap. No. Don't do it. Power supplies are probably one of the most overlooked item and component inside of a PC. Don't cheap out now. So, don't do it. You'll just hate life later. All right, so the other thing that I did find is that, oh, hey, check it out, Roseville got a mechanical keyboard. No, thanks. Dude, check it out. GT GeForce 1030. $94. Yeah, right. Don't buy a graphics card right now. Prices are so freaking jacked up as is. Just don't do it. Don't do yourself a favor and wait. Be patient. Okay? It will get better. I promise. Things will get better. You'll get better deals. We'll have more components to actually use. Processors won't be outrageous. Graphics cards won't be like $400 on top of their MSRP. You know, that type of stuff. So just wait. Wait it out, man. Wait it out. I'll be good. I'll be good. One of the fun things that I did find on Oris's page is that Nabel, the unicorn, posted this, which I thought was pretty damn funny. Oris's logo does kind of look like a pissed off cat licking its paw. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. You get a like from us. That's pretty good. Hell, you know what? Just because I'm feeling frothy, you get a retweet. How about that? Good work. Good work. All right. Another thing that I did find, Paul brought up a relatively fun little thing here. So what's wrong with this picture, guys, gals, folks? An idea? That's a USB Type-C, and that is a regular USB cable. So is that actually going to work? Well, yeah, it's going to work, but it's definitely not USB 3. That's for damn sure. It's USB 2. Because, well, there's your... There it is. All right. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. All right, see, as I click that... Okay, descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Okay, fine. As soon as I click that, just so you can see, and I'm not lying or telling, fibbing to you or anything like that. It's descending, and it's supposed to be going to 3,000 feet, but as you can see here, it's not really descending. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut... Jesus, 2,400 feet? Okay.
Descend and maintain 2,400 feet WRJG9 or 1 tree.
Alright, no. Come on. Why? No, down. Down, down, down. You're supposed to go down. You're supposed to go down. Come on, plane. Work for me here. Why does this not want to work? Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Jesus. This is so annoying. Come on, Microsoft, figure it out. I mean, you haven't even released the new Windows in God damn knows how long. The least you could do is get the frickin' autopilot work correctly. And like, to be honest with you, when the simulator first came out, it was actually working pretty well. Especially for the A320neo, it wasn't terrible. Now this is just dog shit. Pardon my French. Sorry, this is unfortunate. So, all right, last but not least, the one thing that I did want to share with you guys as we're coming in and getting set up for our final approach here. Yeah, what in the hell is this? What is this? I couldn't figure it out, so I had to go and find out. And Gizmodo doesn't always have the greatest, writing and stuff like that. However, I will tell you that this was kind of funny. All right, calm down. We're not crashing the dang thing. This is actually dubbed the blank. The blank? El Blanco Nino? I'm not really sure. It's purportedly a full-phase modular mask that filters air through two high-efficiency, reusable, and replaceable HEPA filters that last up to 14. I'm sorry, I don't want to wear one of these on my head. You kind of look like the depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Or, I don't know, something that's awful. I mean, I like the idea that they're trying to do new things and make, face masks like a real thing that you can actually use and recharge and that type of thing. I think that's awesome. However, God, that's ugly. I don't know what the heck you guys are doing. I have no idea. The Razor mask looks way better. I agree. I think the Razor mask looks awesome. All right, well, if you look... good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you can tell, the plane has started a drastic nosedive down to 2,200 feet here. If you look out your left and your right window, we're actually flying right over Lake Champlain here, which borders in between New York and Vermont. And if you didn't know, there's actually an imaginary line right down the center of the lake to divide the two different states.
Descend and maintain 2,200 feet WRJG9 or 1 tree.
If you just hang on just for another couple brief moments, we'll be swinging this big old boat of a plane all the way around and be getting ready for our landing. Maple, you must be Canadian, considering we're landing in, Vermont. All right, so here we are. We are on the approach. We are on one of the final legs here. As you can see, we're going around. We're going to be hitting this big old loop here. And then it will queue us up to USR. I'm pretty sure is that... Yep, that is the waypoint there. And once we get to USR, I'll go ahead and put on the ILS info display and then basically put it into approach mode, which is the autopilot approach. All right, and what we'll go ahead and do is as soon as we hit USR, Sloka. Once we hit this next waypoint here, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit flaps 1 and start our descent, our actual descent on the finals. On the final approach, as they would say.
WRJG 9er 13, you are 10 miles northwest of Burlington. Contact Burlington Tower on 118.3 when inbound on the approach.
118.3 for WRJG 9er 13. I really want to do this as VATSIM. I think that it would be a lot of fun. I think I could do it. To actually be, I mean, that's a pretty nice view. Look at that.
WRJG 9er 13, please acknowledge.
Yeah, I am acknowledging. Sorry.
Tower on 118.3 WRJG 9er 13.
I mean, that's some wallpaper material right there, you know? Not too bad.
Endeavor 519.
All right.
Contact Burlington departure on 121.1.
Hey, there's my cabin. It's right down there. It's down there on the lake, Lake Champlain, right there, in one of the little inlets there.
121.1 for Endeavor 519er 6.
Burlington Tower WRJG 9er 13 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 15 approach.
WRJG 9er 13 Burlington Tower. Cleared ILS runway 15 approach. Altimeter 29.49er, wind 356 at 15.
Wind 356 at 15.
Cleared ILS runway 15 approach WRJG 9er 13.
All right, so as we fly out here to our landing waypoint here, we'll look off to the left here, and there, as you can see, is the runway. That's where we're going to be coming in for a nice and soft landing. And this time, I'm not going to be a maroon and slam the plane into the ground by leaving the autopilot on. I'm going to turn the autopilot off and land the damn plane myself because, well, computers are helpful. However, sometimes they're annoying, and they don't help at all. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the ILS info display. Boom, there's my two diamonds. We're gonna go ahead and hit the approach. So now that we're on approach mode, what it will do is the plane will automatically go and assess the data needed in order to line our big old boat self up with the runway, and that's going to be runway 15, as you can tell by the secondary monitor here, ILS runway 15, and then also in the bottom left corner, it gives you the runway and the airport identification, as well as the distance to the airport, which is kind of cool. So, let's see here. It looks like we're off quite a bit. We are actually coming in way too hot, so I'm going to hit the air brakes here. I'm going to slow this plane right on down here. And the plane is actually trying to climb because it's the secondary diamond that we have here. So we have the one diamond that is, let's turn the flight director off. Now we have that, and that is on. Okay, cool. The secondary diamond is for your elevation and your altitude. The triangle over here is for your speed. And for the center here is your being actual center on the runway.
Cleared to land runway 15 WRJG 9er 13.
What's the matter, Ali Nahas? Am I boring you? Is that what's happening? All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull this down. We're gonna hit flaps 1, deploy the landing gear, hit the brakes here.
Overspeed.
Yeah. I know we're overspeed. We're good.
Overspeed.
Turn off the brakes here.
1,000.
We're gonna hit flaps 2. Let me just make sure I don't have the speed brakes on. Oh, I do. Okay, let's turn those off. flaps 3. Oh my god, is this... Are you really landing as I'm landing? Towards me. Really? Okay. Whatever. Guess we're gonna find out who lands better, me or you. Theoretically, it looks like this plane is landing as we're landing, which isn't exactly great.
300. 200.
Yeah.
100.
And apparently he has no idea how to fly anyways, so...
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
And there it is. And we actually brought the plane down where it was supposed to go. Isn't that nice? However, you are not supposed to be on the runway there, boss.
WRJG 901 tree, turn next taxiway.
Yeah, I did.
WRJG 901 tree, contact ground on 126 decimal tree. Lindbergh 4 tree 88 cleared to land runway tree. Follow the generic on final. Wind 256 at 5. Cleared to land runway tree, Lindbergh 4 tree 88. WRJG 901 tree, did you copy?
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
126 decimal tree for WRJG 901 tree.
You know, it's funny because they don't actually have the markings on the ground anymore. And it looks like I'm supposed to be pointed that direction. So I guess we'll find out here in a second. Now, obviously, you would not be doing this in this type of plane with anyone near it like this, but... turn, keep turning, even though the... Oh, and... there we go. Alright. There it is. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright. Well, we made it all the way to Burlington International Airport. Total time of flight was 43 minutes and 44 seconds. We took off in the day and we landed in the day, which is kind of nice. It's kind of funny because usually this type of information doesn't exactly work. So, pretty neat. Pretty cool. And again, I highly suggest playing this. Anyone that is looking for a flight simulator that is actually relatively good. It doesn't have all of the perfect polishing on it like X-Plane would or anything like that, but it definitely plays a lot smoother and is less demanding on hardware than X-Plane 11 or any of the other stuff. So, but that's pretty much it for this afternoon, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed being here this afternoon. I will work on the Battle for Hoth a little bit more this week, and hopefully have that tidied up and good to go by the end of the week. That way I can share it with you come next week on Tuesday. However, I will make sure that we have some ability to do the RGB software, and we can talk about that. I can maybe show you some things about it, and some things that I do like, some things I don't. We can kind of compare and contrast and go over it and that type of stuff. But besides that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this afternoon's ModMyMods news update. I know there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of news, but there isn't really a whole heck of a lot going on just this minute. We do have some fun things that are going on around ModMyMods, and I will share them with you next week. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week and a wonderful afternoon. If you guys are stuck in the snow, well, get a shovel and get yourself out, and make sure you stay warm and stay safe out there. Until then, we'll see you next week. Take care.